Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Longhorn Radio. Shreya was giggling a little in our intro.
Sorry, Elizabeth was just straight up vibing to our song, which, completely understandable.
Thanks.
We have such a good intro. Anyways, we are your hosts,
Elizabeth.
and Shreya, here to get a little philosophical.
Now, before we get into that, here are a few announcements.
Next week is Culture Week here at Lee, along with the Spirit Day on the 28th, where you dress up in your culture's traditional clothing. This is a time for all of you Longhorns to show pride in your ethnicity and culture, so please make sure you participate.
Facts. Prom tickets are also being sold now on the Lee web store and in the leadership room, so make sure to get them as soon as possible because there is a limited number and prices will increase. Now, back to Shreya.
The announcements are out of the way at this moment in time, so let's just, get right into the episode.
Groovin'. Okay, just yesterday, Shreya and I, we were on a little FaceTime, and Shreya stumbled. She was like, Elizabeth, I really think we need to find an episode for tomorrow. And I was like, that's so true. We kind of need to have an idea of what we're doing. So we found a few interesting philosophical prompts and questions, and we felt it would be fun to hash them all out.
True. Yeah, a little light bulb moment for me right there. So without further ado, let's begin. So we have a few questions here. Let's start easy and then we can get deeper.
I'm ready.
All right. What does it mean to live a good life?
Wow.
Let's start easy, she said. Would you like to go first, Elizabeth?
Methinks. Okay. What does it mean to live a good life? Let me start out with a vague answer. I think for everyone, it's different. A good life for one person might be traveling the world, living in France, traveling to Italy every weekend, Mm-hmm. For another, it might be going to college, going to Stanford, getting a PhD.
Slay.
For everyone, it's a little different. Everyone has little expectations for themselves and goals. I think as a whole, a good life is constituted by the way you treat others and the people you surround yourself with.
Oh my gosh. I think that one has lived a good life when they know that they feel happy with themselves and everything that they've done. I think if you can look back and be like, I have no regrets, and even if I do, I've compensated with other amazing things. If they can look back and feel that way and be proud of themselves and where they are and their position, I think that's a good life. But also, like you said, having good people around you who support you.
Facts.
I think that's also something we all need. So, yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. All right.
That was so philosophical.
That was so... Thank you. All right. Next one. I actually find this one really interesting. Does a person's name influence the person they become?
Let me tell you. I'm sorry. For anyone out there. If you are named... if you're named...
No! Shut.
Okay, we're gonna cut that out.
We're cutting that out.
Do you agree with me, though?
Let me go first with this question.
Okay.
I personally believe that someone with the name Shreya Sonone will never become famous ever.
No. Listen, that is a powerful name.
No, it is not. But okay, see, Taylor Swift, that's a celebrity name.
See, now that
is not an ordinary person's name.
Taylor's... See, it just has a ring to it.
I know, right?
But also, so does Shreya Sonone.
No, listen. There's also like Benedict Cumberbatch.
Oh, okay. I yelled. Anyways, that Benedict Cumberbatch, Benadryl Cucumber Patch. Now that is a unique name. That cannot be topped by anyone in the industry ever.
Okay, and I think the most iconic one, Leonardo DiCaprio. That was literally made for an actor. That, like, when he popped out of the womb, his mom is like, this boy is going to be an actor. And we will name him Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo.
Linga.
Ew.
Oh. Okay, wait, what was the question? Does a person's name... Okay. Straying away from the, acting, singers, a person's name, I feel in a typical setting...
Jeff Bezos.
True.
Sorry.
Someone's name in a typical setting doesn't either set them up for success or for failure. Like, listen... If you were named Elizabeth Grist, you wouldn't know if she would be successful or a failure. Mm-hmm. It's all about what are your motives? What are your goals?
Exactly.
Where are you trying to go in life?
Exactly.
I feel like anyone with any name can do anything.
Oh my God,
it's the way you perceive it. That didn't make sense, but...
No, that does make sense.
Okay.
And I wholeheartedly agree. All right.
High five. Dab me up on that one.
Hey, that was a crisp dab me up moment.
Your mic likes to cut out a little.
Oh,
we're gonna hold it a little farther from your
guys,
your mouth.
Sorry. All right. Next one. How would humanity change if all humans' life expectancy was significantly increased by, let's say, around 500 years?
500. Wow. See, I thought you were going somewhere else with this question. I thought you were going to say if life expectancy was decreased. Let me answer your question first. Mm-hmm. If it was increased, I feel like people would take so much more time with themselves and realize that there is, 600 years to really figure things out. And I feel like people wouldn't be so hard on themselves because they'd know that even if you're 100, you still have 500 more years to live.
But isn't that kind of like...
It's also, I feel like that'd be so exhausting.
Yeah. I can barely do 100. No, I'm joking. JK! LOL.
I feel like what if everyone on Earth had a shorter life expectancy? People would be more willing to take risks.
I feel like the environment would be much more competitive.
It would.
If we had a shorter lifetime, because now you have half of what we have today to do all these things that would typically take 40, 50 years. But if that's the life expectancy, everyone would be at each other's throats to be
a race.
But I still feel like that's the case today.
True.
I feel like there's such a huge competition, even in school, I feel like especially in the Bay Area.
Facts.
We live in such a competitive environment because we have all the big name companies, Apple, Google, Facebook, you name it. And we're growing up.
Shreya Marketplace.
Sorry. And I also feel like since we are kind of a mesh pot of all these different cultures who, I guess stereotypically have stricter parents or higher expectations of their children, feel more pressure to outperform other students and other peers. And I feel like that's also really detrimental to us. My parents were, they did push me, but I feel like they understand now that we need to be patient with each other. But even though that pressure from my parents has dropped a bit, I feel like I still have pressure on myself to be better. If I'm not number one, then I'm a failure. I feel like that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
So Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like that's such a common thing, especially in this generation, where parents or students themselves just have such high expectations because, like, oh, like my parent, or for example, like someone's parents might have come from somewhere where they weren't given many opportunities, so now they want to make their parents proud. What can I do to, you know,
Prove
like
myself.
show them that I am really carrying on their legacy, and like and you know, like I feel like with the current, going back to the question, life expectancy, it's like people are so rushed to get everything done in their life, and they have this idea that like once you're like 70, like that's it, like now you're retired. And from the ages of like six to when you start kindergarten to like 70, that's a long time, but in the scope of things, like a lot of that time is spent in school.
Yeah, like almost, like we're in elementary school for 6 years, and then 3, like, and then plus college, depending on what degree you get. I'd say give or take like 20 plus years.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. And also I feel like now that we're on this topic, we need to make sure that we need to set aside the competition and focus on yourself and your own pleasures, you know, not just like work and studies and school and money and whatever. Do something that you love.
Yeah. And I feel like with this generation, yet again, despite the fact that a lot of people are so much more pressured to do things, it's also great that this generation is realizing the importance of mental health and how this is not, like, you shouldn't live in a world where you have to, you know, cry yourself to bed
flashbacks
every night because you're ashamed of yourself, or you're not living up to your expectations or your parents' expectations or someone's expectations. You know, there's so many more services for mental health awareness, or like suicide prevention awareness, like all that sort of stuff, which is honestly insane. Pretty great.
That is true. See, one thing that I really love, and I've been doing since I was very young, is traveling, and that's something me and my dad like to do a lot. And before, you know, my time comes, I wish to travel to so many places. And I could very well just be like, that's not important. What's important is that I, like, whatever, beat everyone at game of life and just do whatever, like, materialistic thing I wish to do. But we need to realize we're given such a limited amount of time, not just with respect to the 500 years just like 100 years is, I know that seems long, but time goes by pretty fast. Like, I don't even remember last year. I don't know if that was because of online school.
Yeah.
But still, like, it felt like a fever dream. And okay, kind of like straying off the topic, it makes me so sad that I don't remember elementary school as well.
Yeah. I only have a database of about 5 or 10 childhood events.
Yeah.
That I only remember because I've been retold the story and I've seen a picture, or that's just a core memory of mine.
Yeah.
But like, I honestly I'm even shifting this topic more. I can't remember really what I did on the daily when I didn't have a phone or technology.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like, what did I do? I came home and I read a book.
Oh, I actually have an answer to that. So in my little neighborhood where I live, I have a ton of neighbors who were around my age, and I'm not joking. every day, even on weekends after school, we would go and play until like 8 p.m. So school would get out at like 2:30 something. We'd be playing for like 6 hours every day after school. We'd go biking. We'd go do whatever. Like, we just keep playing every single day. And I remember those as if, I don't know, they just feel so distant, but so close.
Yeah.
And also, I like realized this like a couple of weeks ago. Like, there was a day, which was the last day we all played together as a group.
Yeah.
Like, at some point we just stopped. Like, I think around when I was in 7th grade, we stopped playing regularly. There was some day that was the last day, and we didn't know that that was our last day.
Yeah. And that's so sad. And honestly, like, the fact that school in general is pretty much the reason that
It consumes so much of our time.
it's so consuming. And and I understand that every year we get to a higher level of education, it requires more time, but the fact that we're in school for 6 hours a day and we have on average 4 hours of homework, maybe more, maybe less, and then we're also like teenagers in a society that's just so focused on like
competition
Instagram.
and especially social media and
Social media. It's like there's genuinely so little time that we have that we're not just spending like stressing.
that is so true.
And honestly, I know myself and many other people just wish that, like, you know, we could relive our childhood, you know? What was it like when you were just a wee little 6-year-old and you were, you know, playing in your backyard?
I wanted to grow up so fast, and we did talk about this in our teenage portrayal in media episode. Like, we wanted to grow up so fast because we'd see shows and be like, I want to be that.
I had been for some reason, I've been so excited to turn 17. I was like,
You're
can't
17
wait until
now.
I'm 17. I'm 17.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just another year of life. Like, it's cool that I'm gonna
Have expectations been met?
I mean, not really. Like, I don't know what I was so excited for, because it's just another year of my life, you know?
Yeah.
Like, excited for the future, but this is just another year of stress, because guess what we have? College app.
No, let's change the subject. Moving on to the next question. Next question. All right. Ooh. Okay, let's do this one first. What do you attribute the biggest success in your life to? How about your largest failures? Sorry, there's a fly in the studio.
A little fly. What or who? Or either?
Take it as you will.
Honestly, I feel like what my parents have taught me and the relationships I've made with people have made me the person who I am today, whether that means my successes or my failures. There's always something for me to learn from. And I think that I've been taught well in the fact that I turn my failures or my mistakes into life lessons, and, you know, I work with them, and I kind of just, life goes on.
One thing that I kind of hate, but it's true, I have like set goals and expectations for myself, as I mentioned earlier. And I feel like if one thing goes wrong in whatever I have planned, I'll be automatically a failure.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't get into a good college, I'm a failure.
I have another philosophical question for you.
Oh.
What constitutes a good college?
Literally every college is amazing, especially we are very lucky living in not only the United States, but in the Bay Area where education is such a huge thing. And the educational institutions here, I mean, say what you will about them, but we have amazing resources here. And I've been on only a few college trips, but overall, like, their facilities are top tier.
State of the art.
Very great. My parents, they grew up and they were taught in India. And when they were going on the college tours with me, they were like, wow, Shreya, you have so much here back in India. Like, the schools there are not that great. And you have so much and you should be so thankful. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, I definitely should.
Yeah. It's also like, I lost my train of thought.
We can go back to the question, like, what do you attribute the biggest successes in your life to and failures? I feel like a dad life lesson right here. When I was 7 years old, I fell off of a scooter. And I
Typical.
Typical. And I got a little hurt. And I was crying. Boo-hoo.
As you should.
And my dad is like, that is not a wound. That is a trophy. Something for you to remember. That's something. Wholesome. Yeah, that's you should be happy that you fell down today so that you know not to fall down again and you can ride your scooter properly tomorrow. And
facts.
Dude, my dad is so wise. Anyways.
I think we should all take a little lesson from Shreya's dad.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the same thing with life, you know? So what if you fail? You have so much more ahead of you. Don't doubt yourself. Get back up. Ride your scooter again tomorrow, and you'll be great, I'm sure.
You best believe I'm going to be Tokyo drifting on that scooter.
All right. Okay, should we move on to the next question?
Of course. I feel like this is going to be a longer episode. We're in deep. I'm into this.
I'm into this too. Okay. I feel like we kind of answered this with the last one. Where does your self-worth come from? This is like my third time mentioning it now. I attach my self-worth to my grades.
That is awful.
That is awful. And this is gonna get a little TMI, but you know, I've been like meeting with someone and talking to them, and they're like, "Oh, that's not normal. Your grades should not affect how you feel about yourself. If you are attaching your grades to your self-worth, you need to step out of that. Not healthy." And I feel like a lot of students can relate to that.
Yeah. At one point in time, I honestly, I feel like growing up, there has always been an expectation for me to, do well in school, but it's not a big thing. Like if I don't do well on a test, I've learned for myself that someone's stomping outside.
the clickety clackety of the heels. Anyways.
Facts. I've learned for myself that like you said, my grades don't define me, and it'll only help me and teach me how to study better or do better next time. And I feel like I've pretty much snapped out of obviously I get upset when I don't get a good grade because, that's important to me as a student. Like, that's just one of the expectations that I have for myself is to do well in school.
Yeah.
But I've pretty much removed myself from the idea that a grade is the defining factor of who I am.
Right.
Because it's not. There's so much more to me than my performance in school. I'm a full-time comedian. No, just kidding.
Oh.
Let's cut that out. Anyways.
I swear I was gonna say something.
No, you don't.
Oh my god. I was gonna say something really smart and it would have sounded so cool.
So cool.
I like your shoes.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Guys, I have 7 pairs of Converse.
That is so
A
crazy.
little issue.
That's okay. Totally cool. All right. If I remember it, I guess I'll bring it up. All right, Elizabeth, I think this is gonna be a last question.
No. I want more.
It is though. It's literally the last.
We skipped one.
Yeah, there's one more. That's the thing.
Oh my gosh. Wait.
Oh.
This one and that one.
Oh, I was saving that for last.
Okay, wait. Which one? Okay.
The first one.
Okay, yeah. Let's do this one and then that one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
The
we're
people listening.
strategizing.
All right. If someone you loved was unalived in front of you, but someone created a copy of them that was perfect right down to the atomic level, would they be the same? Would they be the same person? And would you love them just as much?
The gut instinct says no. Because
Wait, would they have the same personality? Like they
If
have all the
they're-
same memories?
they're down, it's
Okay.
exact copy down to, down to the T.
Uh-huh.
Exactly the same. I feel like no, because knowing that someone died unalived, passed. Trying to find the right terminology. Knowing that someone passed away and it was someone that you loved, with that knowledge, no person, even someone the exact person, exact same look, personality, everything, no person could ever replace that feeling that you got from the original person.
Yeah, I think the fact that this is not the person I've spent all my time with is gonna haunt me. Yeah.
And having the knowledge that
I feel like I'd had to force myself to re-love that person.
yeah. And honestly, there's a little announcement going on.
Checking the phone.
The telefono. I'm in Spanish 3. Yeah. Anyways. Having to know that person died and then having to go through the mourning process and then you find out there is someone exactly replicated. It's just not the same person, because the person that you grew up loving, the person that you got to know, isn't there anymore. And it's not the same person if you didn't have to go through the process of getting to know them, the first talking phase. They weren't there in your earliest days like maybe the original person was.
I agree. All right, now this is the last question. The final.
Oh, okay. Final.
Is there a meaning to life?
Wow.
If so, what is it?
This is as deep as philosophy gets, guys.
Like, I assure you, none of you have heard that question before.
None of you have ever heard this question in your entire lives ever. in your time here on planet Earth. Is there a meaning to life? If so, what is it? Listen, there is a meaning to life. Plot twist. I believe that the meaning to life is all about what you make it out to be. That's very vague, but kind of like a previous question. The meaning to life is different for every person. The meaning to one person's life could be to meet the love of their life.
Oh.
The meaning to another person's life could be life is meant to be spent. She just tried to kill a fly with her microphone. Yeah.
In Girl Meets World.
In Girl Meets World.
I hate that show. Sorry, Sabrina
Maya?
Carpenter. Maya. In Girl Meets World.
Okay.
Okay. Corey, the dad, Corey.
Okay.
He's like, the meaning of life is being good to people or something like that.
Oh.
And that was the corniest thing I've ever heard. Oh, excuse you. Get well soon.
Oh. Now I kind of lost my train of thought with that fly. And I feel like I wasn't really going anywhere with that. I was kind of talking to talk. Walk your talk, Shreya.
Don't need a talk, just walk the walk tonight. 'Cause we don't even...
Shreya has made me listen to some BTS songs. Let's just say that.
Most of them I didn't make you. You willingly listened. Sorry, did I just expose you?
I've been exposed. Guys, I'm not a K-pop stan, I swear.
All right, guys. Thank you to all of our listeners.
Are you not going to add more?
No.
That was a sour note.
You just interrupted me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That was a horrible note to end on.
What? I'm not a K-pop stan?
No. We didn't really answer the question.
Yeah, because I feel like that's a really personal question. I feel like that's
Shreya, what is your meaning to life?
Oh, what is my meaning to life?
To get good grades.
I
and
like
base my personality out. No, I'm just
what?
kidding. What? I didn't say anything.
When I edit this, I'm gonna re-listen.
Oh.
Okay. My meaning to life is, like I said before, I just want to look back and be content with everything.
That's so cute. I think I agree with this one. That's my meaning to life. Being satisfied with what I've accomplished, what I've achieved.
I feel like a big debate is like what happens when your time's up. I feel like that's a big thing. Is it okay, what is your theory? Like, what's a fun one?
Oh. That I will be in a little place with every dog and cat and animal possible.
Snake?
No. No spiders either.
Oh, spiders are awful.
No. Fluffy cows, alpacas,
Ew,
llamas.
fluffy cow.
Have you never seen a fluffy cow? Have you seen a baby cow? A calf?
I've seen a calf.
Have you seen a fluffy calf?
I'm actually gonna search up fluffy calf. Let's go. Fluffy.
Let's turn the ringer on. Let's get some ASMR going. Ready?
Oh, I think I turned my sound for. Sorry, guys. Fluffy calf for sale. A fluffy calf for sale is like a recommended search thing. Sorry. Okay.
Anyways.
Wait, hold on. Oh!
Isn't it so cute?
It looks like a pig.
Why would you say that?
I'm not in a bad way. It just looks like a pig. Anyways. Okay. We were talking about the meaning of life and now we're talking about fluffy cows.
Listen.
All right. I think this is a good ending note. Now don't interrupt my outro. All right.
What if I want to, though?
Then you're fired. I'm joking. That's a joke, guys.
Whoa. You can't fire me from a podcast I helped you create.
Sorry.
I am the backbone of the technology here.
Okay. All right. Thank you to all of our listeners for joining us today. Girl, let me read.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Ow.
Wait. Guys. She's really energetic today. Thank you to all of our listeners for joining us. Now, before we send you off, don't forget to follow the family Instagram for all things Lee. Remember, you can be a future guest and join us on the podcast to discuss a topic of your choice by filling the form linked in the bio. Or the bio, Instagram.
The description.
Description below.
Thank you for tuning into Longhorn Radio. See you next time. This has been Longhorn Radio.
Shreya.
And Elizabeth.
Signing
Out. Bam.
Period.